Good morning. Wait just a second, and then we'll get started. Going to be leaving here, and I came into the office early this morning to get some things done, and then I'm going to be leaving here to go to a funeral of a very dear friend who died much too young and very unexpected. So feeling a little solemn this morning. And good morning, Teresa. I visited with some friends and family at the funeral home last night, and as I was leaving, you know, things like that always make you reflect and think about happy memories and cherished memories, moments that you shared. My husband and I got to travel with this couple. I think it was a couple of years ago. We did an Alaskan cruise, and so I got to think about moments that she and I had together and what a precious, precious friend and person she was, which kind of made me think about our subject for today. I want to talk for just a minute. I'm probably not going to be long today. I just really don't have it in me. But I want to talk today about honesty and forgiveness, and tying that into our weight loss journey. My question for you today to reflect on is, would you trust you? Knowing what you know about your journey and your commitment to the journey and your honesty with yourself and with others on the journey, would you trust you? Would you take advice from you? Would you seek you out for support? And if not, then you're not being honest with yourself, and you're not being fair to yourself, and you're certainly not getting everything out of the journey that you deserve to get out of it. We're not dishonest on purpose with ourselves on this journey, but the dishonesty comes in when we start not tracking exactly what we ate, not, and by that I mean physically, manually tracking it, or those of us who track up here. Sometimes it's an extra bite or an extra drink, or we cut our exercise short, or we justify a decision to eat a particular food that we know we shouldn't and we know we don't really need, but we come up with a reason or an excuse. And my question for you today is, are we really being honest about it, or are we just making excuses? Honesty, I looked up the definition. You knew I was going to. It means truthful. It means fair. It means not lying or cheating. I think this week, what I'm going to do, and what I encourage you to do, is I'm going to be honest with myself about my decisions, about my actions, about what I really need. Do I need it, or do I just want it? And if I just want it, that's okay. But don't try to spin it and say I need it, because I really didn't. I just wanted it. And sometimes it's okay to give in to those wants, but more often than not, it's not okay. It's not being honest with ourselves and what our body really needs and what we really need for this journey. And then that kind of sometimes becomes blame. We place blame on somebody else. I'm not being successful on my journey because of Weight Watchers, or because of Freestyle, or because of my spouse, or because of whatever. If we honestly go back and look, where does the blame really lie? Does it lie on my spouse? Does it lie on anyone but me? I have to be honest with me. And if I do that, my computer's going crazy again. If I am honest with myself, then I accept responsibility for my journey. Okay. Well, where does the forgiveness come in? I read a quote this morning that says, you have to let go if you want to grow. You can't repeat the same mistake over and over and still call it a mistake. Once it may be a mistake, twice it's a choice. But even then, we can't go forward if we keep living, reliving, rehashing, re-blaming the choices of the past. So whatever you did yesterday or Saturday or last week or last month, you can't change it. So forgive yourself for it and move on. And don't dwell on it anymore. I've dwelt, I've rehashed, I've rethought, I've beat myself up over more in the last week than I have in a long time. And standing there last night thinking about my friend's life is done. She can't change anything. She can't redo anything. She can't, she made some poor health choices along the way. If she could do it all over again, there are things that she could have done differently. There are decisions she could have made. There are things that she could have given up that may have extended her life, may have changed the quality of her life. But what's done is done. And so now her family and her friends move forward. I've always said, I want to get to the end of my life knowing that I'm dying in spite of everything I did, not because of everything I did. So this week, going forward, I'm closing the door on last week. I can't change it. I can't do anything about it. But I can do something about my choices in the future. I'm going to be honest about those choices. Do I really need it? Or is it just an impulse? Or is it just a craving? Or is it just something that I'm just having a little meltdown and want it? But if it's not going to add to my future, then I need to be honest with myself and be a big girl and make the decision and then own it. And then forgive myself for those times that I didn't make the best choices. I'm not perfect by a long shot. I wish I could be more perfect, but I'm working on it. I try a little bit harder every day. But forgive yourself for what's done, and don't beat yourself up about it anymore, and be prepared to move forward and make better decisions in the future. We have to change what we can, when we can, and then we move on. But we don't dwell in the past, and we don't continue to repeat those bad choices, because we're not going to get the results we want if we continue to do the same things over and over. So that's my challenge for you this morning. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with those around you. If you have someone in your life that's sabotaging you, be honest with them. Don't blame them. Just be honest with them and ask for their help. Sometimes that'll work. Sometimes it won't. But you have to at least try. But be genuine. And mostly be so honest about your journey that people will want to go along on the journey with you because they trust your journey. Don't be one of those people that if somebody says she or he's on Weight Watchers, someone else is going to be like, really? Kind of surprised, because, I didn't see that coming. Be so honest that people want to come to you for advice. There are a lot of people in this group that I trust their journey with Weight Watchers, not because they lose every week, not because I think they, are perfect, but because I think they're genuine. And so when they tell me something, I trust them. So be one of those people and be visible. We have lots and lots and lots of new folks in our group who are just starting out, and they need the advice of somebody who has proven the journey. They need to know that they're not the only ones who mess up. They need to know that they're not the only ones who have a question. And when they have a question, be patient. Just because we figured it out doesn't give us the right to be impatient with someone. So if you can't be patient, then don't answer them. Let someone who can be patient today. Today may not be the day that I answer a lot of questions. My heart is somewhere else today. So my presence on the board would probably be compromised a little bit. I may be a little short, and so I will probably choose to not answer a lot of questions today. Maybe that's what you need to do if you're having one of those days. But anyway, I feel myself rambling, and I'm sorry. So let me just recap. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your journey. Be honest with those around you. Be honest with your tracker. Be honest with what goes in your mouth. You don't really need it, you just want it. And sometimes we have to tell our wants, no, not today. So forgive yourself for the past, and let's move forward. Make this week count. You're worth it, your body's worth it, your health is worth it, and your future you will definitely thank you for it. Have a wonderful day. Say a prayer for me today. We're singing at 10 o'clock at this funeral, and it's really hard to sing when you're emotional. So I'm going to try really hard, and I covet your prayers. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the board. Bye-bye.